Game number 1 of Dream versus Solar. Let's do this to the bottom right-hand side. Just about able to pick up that win against Estrella. It is Dream. On the top left-hand side, our red Zerg player, Solar. Game 1 of this best of 3 series. How are we all doing out in the chat today? How's everybody feeling? Hope you're all doing well. As we set this up, King's Cove going to be our map as we see the Reaper on the way up from Dream, getting this started. SCV coming across the map. So some Terran versus Zerg here. Again, just as a quick reminder, today we're going to cast for another 2.5 hours. And in 2.5 hours time, WCS Challenger starts, so we don't want to stream over that at all. I will announce all of the results from the group at the end of the stream, so that you guys know everything that happened. And of course, we will look to cast the replays of the matches we didn't cast another day whenever we find some time, find a chance. It's a pretty busy month. We've got a lot scheduled already, so try and keep it up as best we can. So ZvT pulling back down to the bottom right as the Reaper here from Dream pressing forwards and is able to start dealing some damage. Taking a few more shots there and is going to be popping into an extractor. And is able to save itself just for the moment. This Reaper from Dream out over to the right hand side. Wing speed starting up in the main base of Solus again. That ready to roll here as we do see Command Center morphing into an orbital on the natural mule. Is going to mine away a little bit. Extractor drone jumping between extractors, really trying to keep itself alive against this Reaper at the moment. Comes back down the right hand side. Solo already has a lair on the way up and absolutely looks like he could be looking for some aggression here on King's Cove. Nidus builds obviously are very prominent in the meta at the moment still, have been for quite some time. So, as this lair is about to finish, we see a lot of lings, we only see one gas. There's not enough gas to build a Spire. There's not enough gas to build Roaches. It's going to be Lings, it's going to be Queens, it's going to be a Nidus network. And we are going to see Solar looking for a big all in here. Viking from Dream might be able to shut down the Overlords though, and that could stop the scouting in towards the main base and a Nidus in the main base. So the Overlord down at the bottom is going to morph into an Overseer. It's actually morphing in plenty of time, so it should be able to survive. That might be a bit of a telltale sign, though, for Dream. As the Overseer morphs, it will get a heal. Nidus is on its way up. Viking continues to deal damage. The Nidus is done in 6 seconds. Does the Overseer survive that long? The couple of Marines will deal some damage. He drops a changeling. It gets denied. Overseer down. Solo will try and get up this ramp to cut down a Nidus. Also unsuccessful. Dream scans the main base. Only sees the lair. Doesn't see anything else just yet. There we go, Nidus on the low ground. Well, Dream has had a lot of opportunities to see this come. He started up a siege tank already now as well. Hellions need to be careful though, they're one of the main key parts of defending this because they're the units that are going to be used against the Zerglings. They're backed into a corner, they will survive. They need to try and get back into this base once again. Command Center is probably going to get to finish here, which is really nice as well. It means you don't have to cancel that, and it will stay as part of the wall. He's coming forwards. Queen taking quite a bit of damage. Marines build some shots. Lings streaming forwards here again. Marines and Hellions able to deflect those Lings pretty easily. Love that tank position on the high ground. Firing away onto those Queens. Really well done. Tank continues to fire. Nidus will fall. Tank siege is up. Hellions, Marines down to the low ground. Nidus network now going to be the next part of this that's in trouble. Again, these Zerglings just coming down at the bottom. Another knight is going to be placed. This has been unsuccessful from Solo. He's trying to play catch-up, building drones, getting a Baneling nest. There's a very good defense from Dream. He has absolutely got the numbers to pull this off now, even if these Lings get him. Well, he needs to be a bit careful, right? If the Lings get surrounded with the Queens. He has Stim, though, which is obviously why he's feeling a bit more confident. So, I mean, if the Lings get surrounded, it's still scary, right? No, apparently not. Okay, yeah, apparently not at all. Solo just loses all of his Lings there. The Queen just gets back into the Nidus. Nidus is denied. And Dream can probably just go across the map to win this game. What a play. What a performance. As we're going to be seeing the Nidus getting picked up. So an army moving through the center of the map right here. You guys ever noticed that siege tanks do a little wobble? You seen this? They're pretty rickety, right? Like wobble, 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 wobble. Coming to get ya, coming to get ya, wobble. It's the siege tank march. That's what they sing in the siege tank as it wobbles along. Alright, tank sieging up, and in all seriousness, this is obviously pretty dangerous for Solo. He doesn't have Baneling speed. Tanks are going to be very good at zoning Banelings if they come forwards here. Units coming in from the left-hand side are getting picked off way in advance as well. A little bit of target fire on the initial Banelings. Marines on the low ground. One Baneling will connect. With the medevac unloading more of these Marines. Solo just failed the Nidus all in. And once you fail that Nidus all in, there's so few rays to recover. And that's exactly what Reno in the chat. There are coupon codes still available. If we don't use them today, it's wasted money. So please do check that out. It's !Matcherino in the chat. Give it a click. And of course, if you want to support yourself, add a few dollars to the prize pool from your own pocket, you're very welcome to. You can also purchase WardiTV Summer Championship t-shirts. So yeah. Do check that out in the match arena as we get set up into this next game of the TVZ. My camera's wobbling like a siege tank. That's because I've got bouncy legs and I was hitting the table. Just try and trigger you all. I must be a siege tank. Maybe. Maybe I'm just excited by the siege tank song, so I'm just wobbling along. CDC and Overlord of Solar heading up to the top left-hand side, a Command Center of Dream. Dropping down onto the natural. And that is going to be a pretty serious lag spike as the drone tries to make its way over to this hatchery. It's going to be able to drop the hatch down, get this started up. A bit of a slow-paced opening here. Just watch for this Reaper, see what that's going to get up to for the next little while. Definitely the most interesting part of what either of these players are doing at the moment. Otherwise, it's just building up the initial choices. Obviously, keep an eye on the production as well, though, because Dream can absolutely make some interesting choices here as to how this game will go and what he is going to be doing. Give us an idea as to what this opening build order might be. A couple of Zerglings getting pushed back into the natural, third hatchery. Going to finish shortly. Zergling speed starts up on the spawning pool, and as that Zergling speed comes on in, we do have the command center morphing into an orbital here on the natural expansion as well. Couple of Queens just on the way out, and again, the Reaper not really able to do much either. Got a Cryptuma cancel. That's nice, but that's pretty much all it's going to do. Slow the creep down that tiny little bit. Stim pack will start, so Dream just looking for a very fast stim here. Not really looking to be, again, overly aggressive in any real way. Just get up to stim, play it out from there. Thank you to the few people who used some Maturino coupons. Do appreciate it, guys. And keep those coupons coming in, as we do see the Marine picking its way through this Overlord. So Overlord taking quite a bit of damage here at the start. The Reaper and a couple of Hellions moving up that ramp there for a second. Stim pack on the way out as the Viking will finish off this Overlord here. And the Tech Lab going to be finishing on the factory. Whenever Barracks drops down in the main base, so gets that started up. The third CC on its way in as well. All three of these barracks on the way up now, so yeah, just very typical sort of straight to bio opener here from Dream. And Solo's being able to start pushing his creep a bit further forwards. I mean, now a couple of Hellions on the map, and maybe they can do a little bit of something against that creep spread, but I mean, it's going in so many different directions, it's going to be tough to truly halt. A little bit more creep spread pushing forwards, and again, the Spore Crawler just coming up behind this mineral line. A lot of setup. A lot of build-up at the moment. +1 melee, +1 carapace upgrades out of Solar as well. They're going to play into Lingbane style. Now, Solar has shown us, I mean, at Home Story Cup, he showed us a lot of kind of pure Lingbane style. Whether he'll do that here on Cyber Forest or whether he'll go into, I mean, this is a good map for Hydralisks. Can also work pretty well for Mutas as well. The, jumping from this mineral line to this mineral line is very quick compared to your opponent has to go ping, 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 so Mutas can be pretty good here too. As we do have the Hellions, Reaper and the Viking coming forwards. Viking gonna land itself down there. The few Hellions and the Reaper joining it up as well. +1 attack, armor, combat shields, all building up too, and those siege tanks gonna unload. A scan will drop down, and don't think Dream really wants to fight here. Falls back to that little bit of a choke point, which makes it very difficult for Soul to commit through. Obviously no lair yet, so this attack will be against no Link speed, no Baneling speed. Honestly, it's one of those attacks where Lings and Queens alone would probably be able to clean it up. There's only so many Marines. And that's what the Banelings are usually there for, and that's why the Banelings are going to be set up in time with Bane speed for when there's basically like a larger Marine push. Sorry guys, I think I got a bit of a tickly throat today. Means the tank's able to get another shot off there, and a little bit of siege as we see pressing forward. Some creep team is in trouble. Queen's trying to come in over from the left-hand side. Zergling's pressing forwards as well. Again, just the 4 bases just set up, and Solo is, as we were mentioning, talking about the possibility of just playing a pure Lingbane style. As you play a pure Lingbane style, you're able to get yourself into this position where you're really being active on the map. Counterattacks are going to be very important. You can see Dream is already establishing a bunker on this third base. He knows that that is a point of entry that the Zerg will look to abuse. Supply depot blocking off the back of the mineral line here. Probably see depots across here and even across here perhaps to really continue just, again, anything you can do to slow down Lingbane counterattacks to make them less effective. Drill and close on the way, Widowmine production continuing, and again, absolutely the choice you want to have against the Lingbane. The mobility of the Widowmines is just uncomparable when it comes to other splash damage options, so you Hellbats here from earlier in the game, just going to soak some of the Banelings, which isn't bad at all, but eventually obviously you have to lift up and kind of get out of there. This position here from Dream is still very good with this choke point and the siege tanks to support it. But here we go, a big Baneling attack from this top side, and they will just bust through those first depots and the bunker. Gives Dream a little bit of free warning though, so you will be able to pull his SCVs away. The Banelings have all been used, which means the bio can clean up the rest of the Zerglings and instantly rebuilds the depot and the bunker there. resetting that defensive position on third. Full face trying to build some location, having some trouble. Dream is finally pushed back from the center of the map as well. Again, eventually Solar was just going to break that position if Dream wasn't reinforcing it correctly. And it's hard to reinforce it correctly when you're being forced to pull back home, you know, and deal with counter-attack run-bys. So Solar's high finishing, and again, the choice from here is quite obvious to go in towards the Ultralisk Cavern. That is why you go for such a fast dive. That's why you skip the Hydra Den, the Mutalisks, or whatever else. That Widowmine does finally find the connection. Gets rid of those Zerglings. It's taking its sweet-ass time about actually firing, though. For a moment, I was not convinced it was actually going to shoot. Things going to roll in from the left-hand side. The Marauder's taking the lead. So only Zerglings on the right, but there's no repair on that bunker. Maybe the bunker would be better here, able to repair from the side. SCVs falling away. Only 6 SCVs killed in all of this, which is actually, I feel, very impressive, all things considered. Widowmines with the drilling claws able to burrow to help, but also without an overseer means they will survive this attack. It feels like Solar is slowly chipping away at what Dream has. 170 to the 130 supply, and of course Solar's supply is only going to start getting better now. He's going to invest into the drill glance. He's going to get Chitinous Plane and those ultras on the map as well. Marines begin to unload and then jumping back up into that medevac. Hatchery dropping down on the right hand side. Spire coming in on the main base as well. So Solar's setting this up as we see a lot of Lings, a few Banelings. All of this on the left as we do have a medevac for Widowmines. Down, Widowmine's going to go off and pick off a good few Zerglings there. So good few Zerglings going down. Again, Bio pushing the left. More SCVs under fire. More Baneling's going to morph in as well. Is rebuilding quite successfully, but again, he needs to start preparing himself for the later stages. And as his defenses over here being picked off, he's starting to find himself in some trouble. Widowmine drops, attempting to get some damage done. They find 8 drones and 7 SCVs go down across the map. Here's the problem again. What do you do against those ultras? Oh, well, that's another nice Widowmine connection. 15 drones now dead in the last couple of Widowmine shot drops. I mean, there's a few Marauders here, so they're going to help against the Ultras, but there's just so... It just feels like so much Ling Bane. Starts up a Fusion Core. There's a Liberator, but only one. I feel like maybe even cancelling those 2 medevacs and getting Liberators out on every starport would be a bit of a better way to go about this. We still have Lingers, Banes, and Ultras pressing up to the top left side. Some Marines stemming from the right, going to be pushing on forwards, and well, Widowmines are going to be going off. Big connection, actually hitting a good few Banelings in the front. Even more Banelings going down. Bane's still moving here. Is going to see the orbital lifted up into the skies. This is not looking pretty as Dream 120 supply and dropping fast as more SCVs go down. Dream is just losing out on everything. He scans the right-hand side as well, just tries to find out how good Solar's economy is right now. The end of the series. It's obviously the first time we've seen Solar a day. Dream did just about push it out against Destroyer. Only just, though. It was pretty tough. Dream spawns on the top left-hand side as the yellow Terran. Up against the red Zerg in the bottom right, we do have Solar. So, getting into this and looking to see what's going to go down. Kairos Junction is generally thought to be a pretty strong Terran map when it comes to trying to play into a longer game, because the Terran really can just shut down, play a lot of attacks with this high ground position, this high ground over here into this base. We often see that becoming a very decisive factor in fights and so on. So yeah, siege tank play works well on this map as well. Even if you play Ling Bane, the tanks work well because of all the ledges they can utilize and all the high grounds they can be left behind on, while the bio looks to bait units into fights on the low ground, etc. So pretty funky little setup we got going on. See how Dream does try to utilize the map as a couple of queens on the way up. We're going to throw a grenade down, and Drone's going to get bopped a little bit here. As always nice if you can pick up some kills, of course. Oh, that spine gets blocked by the other drone. Unfortunately, Solo will not be able to save one of those. Nice little pick off from Dream again. It's a nice little small early game victory. It's pretty much the largest victory you can get at this stage with a Reaper expand, so it's nice, but it doesn't truly alter the rest of the game. Couple of Hellions on the way out. The barracks going to start up a tech lab, and the starport next to it. This could again just be a pretty fast movement towards a stim pack, or that barracks could make way for the starport. Get a couple of starport units up here early on. Going back into the center, stim pack on the way up in the main base from Dream. Viking starts from Dream as well. Overlord taking just a little bit of damage there. Third hatchery is going to be finishing up. And again, a few more Zerglings just on the way out as Queens pushing forward. Some creep spread coming down. What's up there, Exile, coming in with the Twitch Prime sub, thank you so much. First few Hellions poking around on the right-hand side here. Queen dealing some damage. They can come back over. A couple of Marines able to pick off that Zergling there. So Zergling will go down there, about halfway done from Solar. And Hellions pressing forward, able to pick up a couple of Lings. Viking firing away, and Overlord continue to take some more shots. More Hellions, a Dream coming over to this right-hand side, and just Rippers and Hellions dealing some damage here. Queens taking quite a bit of damage. Well, Medivacs in the production tab, combat shields on the way up on the racks as well, and Queens pressing forwards. The Hellions from Dream having to pull back. So a few Hellions up on the top, couple of Medivacs coming over, going to start unloading. And again, a few Marines just dropping down right now. Crypt Shimmer is going to get picked off. A couple of Crypt Shimmers getting picked off right away, and again, Dream with a bit of a push. Overlord will go down. Zerglings from Solar heading up to the top side of the map. pick off a whole bunch of these SCVs, so very quickly able to get rid of a lot of those. And Hellions pressing forward is going to get another few drones right there. Two Banelings going down as well. The counter-attack was nice, getting some of the SCVs, and obviously Solar buying time over here to stop this push from really being that successful. No. Dream is really reliant on these units coming close enough for the tank to get some shots off, etc. So Solar just sits back. He doesn't have to fight that until he's very confident he can completely overrun this, which he's about to do with Lings from the left, Banes from the right. He's looking to hit, and he's looking to clean this up with ease. The Queen's going to go forwards and take the initial shot from the tanks. That's not going to be the initiation just yet, though. Banes from the right-hand side going to pick up a couple of units. The other units dropping down. Siege tank is going to look to fire there, but will not be able to. Yeah, nice pullback from Dream before Solar is able to take advantage. Gonna pick away at those rocks. Armory going to be finishing in a few moments' time again. A little bit of this army from Dream pressing forwards. Pressing down again. 2-2 upgrades on the way up. Drilling claws will start. And Dream has been applying some good pressure. You can see he's obviously in reach of the supply of Solar compared to the last game where Solar was just already kind of getting extremely far ahead at this sort of stage. Just looking to split his army up a little bit, going a couple of directions. Going up in towards the main base. Marines are going to be able to pick off an Overlord here. Lings trying to surround, but will not be successful. Dream with the Marines around the right-hand side. These other Marines dropping down. We are going to see the Queen picked off. Drones trying to get back to mining. Hive, Spire on the way up. So looking towards the Greater Spire here, perhaps as those two Medivacs again boosting away. Up to the upper side. +2 attack and armor on the way in, +2 melee and carapace also building at the moment. Medivac with a couple of Marauders and Marines in going down the left. Again, a bunch more Lings and Banes on the way up. Hive about to complete here from Solar. These Marines and Medivacs from Dream down the right. Hydra's able to pick up one of the Medivacs right away there, so one Medivac already going down. Okay, I'm just going to be seeing the Lings, Banes, and Hydras trying to come down this right-hand side. A couple more Marines in this drop, still trying to deal damage. Dream is trying to be everywhere. He's doing an okay job of it, but eventually he has to push with the main army, right? Because at this stage, Greater Spires on the way up, Vipers are coming through. I think it is pretty much time for him to go already, actually, but I gotta look for his main army. Where is it? I mean, he's got 43 Marines. Okay, there. A lot of it was in the main base. I was wondering. I was like, looking at the third, I was looking up front, I was looking over here. Couldn't see any, but yeah, he's obviously got it coming out the main base right now. Oh my god, the drones stacked up there. Very unfortunate for Dream to not maybe get a bigger clump of those drones. Fire still moving a little bit. Lings, Banes, and Hydras into the center. Wanting to see where those can perhaps go. A few more corruptors coming through, and the Greater Spire is about to complete. So we're coming around the left-hand side. The Medivac is going to get picked off. And yeah, it feels like Solar's getting up to Broods, and there's not really an answer from Dream because he's not been able to hit a timing before now. He doesn't even feel like he's really prepared for Brood Lords at all. Doesn't feel like he's prepared for that at all. Again, some drones going down. These Widowmine drops are, you know, they're finding damage. Fire pressing in. Some Zerglings taking damage once more. And again, just seeing a lot of Banes trying to come forwards. Yeah, Zerglings trying to get a bit of a wraparound. Hydra's pressing in as well. Right hand side, another Widowmine drop. We'll find 9 more drones. Again, he's doing a great job of getting damage to keep Solo's economy as restrained as possible. Nice interception here. Going to find the Broodlords. There's only a couple of Broodlords up from Solo. To lose both of them already when they're on their own takes away a lot of what they're meant to achieve. Dream, meanwhile, though, has to split away from this main army. He has cleaned up some creep here, though. The other Broodlords now starting to arrive in this fight. Dream is still not really building up anything to deal with those Broodlords, right? I mean, he's only just now started starports. He hasn't even started any Vikings, despite seeing these Broodlords obviously a little while ago. He's also just kind of low on medevacs because he's been using them to drop and losing them throughout the game. Planetary Fortress here might need a repair. Is going to get repaired up a little bit. Hello, game. Doesn't seem to have affected the players. So maybe it did. Solo. That's pretty brutal. Don't know what is up with the Korean server at the moment, as Solo is going to be continuing to fight here. I'm surprised none of them paused. Usually, obviously, they would pause if something was a problem there. Bane's continuing to morph in, so Solo's still on the front of this, still fighting forwards. Still has the Broodlords, which is obviously scary. And yes, Queens and Hydras underneath to support as the Viking count is starting to come in. Drop on the top right-hand side, though, Solo will have to send his faster units back over there to deal with this, which means the Broods are kind of abandoned in the center of the map. He gets here, he'll push this back. Sorry, get a bit of a tickle pop. The Broodlords, the Hydras and the Banes again, trying to see what else they can do. Solo coming into the center of the map, getting ready to press forwards once again as we're getting towards maxing out here. You're going to see some Broods firing away, a couple of Widowmine shots. We're mostly going off on Broodlings. Again, it's that lack of real ability to properly protect these Broodlords. Some Hydras need to come around the south side and hit these Vikings, which are currently just getting so much free damage off. It's not a lot of Vikings, though. Again, drops dealing damage. 13 drones down on the other side of the map. As we are going to be seeing, Solo still pressing forwards here, still trying to break this position. The Planetary Fortress is so close to dropping down. The Queens need to keep transfusing those Broodlords, which they are doing. The Vikings are dropping to the Hydras. This Planetary Fortress is so low. It's able to add in so much damage here through the course of the game. The repair is obviously huge on it. Solo is just not quite going to break through this, and I think he loses just a little bit too much in trying to break through that. And now he's going to lose the Broodlords as well. Solo was extremely committed to this attack. Now with the Broodlords going down, Dream has seemingly just gotten enough up at the right time. He will lose the forward base, but that's a 5th base. He can afford to lose that. He's cleaned out this base up here as well, so Solo's also taking, you know, hits to the economy. Vikings chasing forwards and going to be picking off the Queen. Again, more Banelings morphing in as well, and it seems like it's probably just about going to be it as we see more Banelings morphing. Solo's just out of momentum, though, as we do have the Bio pressing forwards. My microphone died? Yeah, that's because I was coughing, guys. Sorry. I moved out the way so we could... I don't know. My microphone's just a bit messed up. I already ordered a new one. Can't do anything for it other than waiting. Alright, a few more Banelings morphing in. So we get some medevac lifting up here. Moving around. On the top, we have a 8 Marine drop from Dream. Solar really did just lose a bit too much in these fights. Drones going down on the bottom side as Widow Mines go off again. 13 workers. That's really added up over the course of this. Those Widow Mine drops have done so much. You can see that army craft. The biggest part of this was actually just Dream able to rebuild where Solar was not. And that's just because I guess Solar was just trading a little bit worse off in all of this. Famous pressing forward, Marauders starting to take some damage. Vikings picking away here. Bins continuing to press on through. Parasitic bombs are going to force the Vikings to land. And the Hydras are going to be on top. But that's going to be GG. Dream is going to be able to take